welcome back to their video, and in today's video we have WrestleMania 41 Night 2 results. The show just concluded, and this night was, in my opinion, way better than what we've seen on Night 1, but what was your overall thoughts on Night 2?
Yeah, it was a great show all around. I pretty much had fun with every match outside of one that we'll get into a little bit later. But yeah, it was a great show. Had fun with this one a lot more than Night 1, as you mentioned.
Let's kick things off where we start off with the women's triple threat match for the Women's World Champion, and Io Sky comes out on top and defeats Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley to retain her Women's World Champion.
Yeah, this is a match that was just kind of all over the place. Really fast-paced match here that I really enjoyed. Everyone kind of got their moves in here. We see at the very start, kind of starts off really cool. We see kind of right at the start, we see Bianca and Rhea put their hands up to kind of little girl Io a little bit, but she stops their hands, puts it to the side, slaps both of them. Then the match goes on to proceed to be one of the best openers in WrestleMania history, potentially. It was an amazing match, one of the best women's matches in recent memory. And yeah, this was a fantastic opener, fantastic match. The ring gear was great, the entrances were great. Just everything about this match was good.
Yeah, this match is easily one of the best matches from the weekend, and will go down in the history because it's one of the best matches on WrestleMania, and this was a great way to open up the night. In hindsight of things, I do wish this match did main event. Obviously, we didn't have a big change of title, but I think Io winning is still a huge moment. We've seen her obviously being put up with Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley, who in their own respects are two of the biggest women in the industry, and Io was still getting cheered. She had her moments where she had the crowd all behind her, and yeah, it was just really nice to see Io kind of get that, just the fan interaction that sometimes people, it's probably the only knock you can give her, that she doesn't have that, maybe that fan interaction. But tonight she easily showed that she was, one of, just as over as these two women, and proved to everybody else that she is one of the top women in this division.
Yeah, and Shinsuke Nakamura mentioned on Twitter after this match that this is the first Japanese wrestler to win a WrestleMania match in 27 years, I believe he said. So that's a incredible kind of feat for her to get over that hump and be the first in 27 years, and to not only be the first in 27 years, but to be known as one of the greatest women wrestlers in the current era of great women wrestlers. So yeah, shout out to Io Sky, Rhea, and Bianca. They did fantastic.
And we followed it by a Sin City street fight between Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest, where Drew McIntyre comes out on top and defeats Damian Priest. And yeah, which was a very fun match.
Yeah, this one, I didn't have too high expectations on this one, I'll say. But they did definitely deliver here. We seen basically Drew McIntyre just deliver a complete beatdown to Damian Priest throughout the entire match. We've seen chairs get involved. We've seen tables. We've seen a little bit of everything here. We've seen steel steps where it looked like Damian Priest took a nasty steel step to the face. He didn't protect himself in time, maybe, or maybe he did and I didn't catch it. Who knows? But it just looked pretty brutal, that one. The steel steps to the back as well through the table. It was a really good match here. Just a kind of brawl out match, kind of.
Yeah, this match is really fun. I love the ending where Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest is about to go and hit old school like Undertaker, but then Drew McIntyre pushes him off onto two setup tables they set up early in the match. And earlier as well, I think we forgot to mention, was that Drew McIntyre got off his tweet during the match as well, which is really funny. His tweet blew up. I think had almost 1 million views within 10 minutes. So Drew McIntyre got that motion on Twitter, so that was really nice to see. And yeah, this match was really great, and then we finished it off with Drew McIntyre hitting a Claymore on Damian Priest onto a chair that was set up in the corner, which is really cool. One of the best just Claymores, I guess, I think we've seen, at least one of the nastier looking ones. And yeah, this match was fun. Glad Drew McIntyre gets to win here. I hope this means big things for him coming up. Obviously, now that there's some new, the landscape of wrestling right now is kind of changing in WWE. Hopefully for him, this is a big moment for him.
Yeah, it was a brutal Claymore to the face to Damian Priest to end it with the steel chair in the corner, as you mentioned. Really cool. Checking up on the Drew McIntyre tweet live response here, we see 76,000 retweets, 282,000 likes and also 6.3 million views. So definitely went viral. I think he accomplished his job that he wanted from this tweet.
Yeah. And then we followed up that match with the Fatal 4-Way Intercontinental Championship match where Dominic Mysterio comes out on top and is your new Intercontinental Champion, defeating Braun Breaker, Finn Balor, and Penta in what was, again, a very fun match.
Yeah, I really wish that this match maybe got some minutes from another match that we'll get into in a little bit, because it only went 10 minutes, but I do think that they could have went another 2, 3, 4 minutes, and it would have been even more amazing. But yeah, this match was another all over the place, just big brawl match where people were fighting all over the place. Obviously, the Fatal 4-Way match. Everyone got their big moves in, where it looked like Finn Balor had moments where it was like, oh, is he actually going to pick up the win here? Same thing with everyone else. They had their moments as well, but a big point of interest of the match is going to be Dominic Mysterio making the turn on Finn Balor official. Finn Balor has his back towards the ropes, kind of in 619 position. He starts to get up. Dom drop kicks him back into position, hits him with the 619. Or no, he goes to hit him with the 619, but Finn catches his legs, finds out that, Dominic Mysterio just turned on him, and from there on, it's just a big brawl between the two.
Yeah, this was very interesting to see Dom win this match. I kind of thought that we would see a Penta win here, maybe even a Finn win after all the L's he took, and maybe this was his redemption, or even a Braun Breaker retain. I wouldn't have been surprised with that. So Dom winning this match is kind of surprising to me. I think he wasn't a bad option. Any man who won this match was a valid option. Everybody had their own reasoning. But I think another big thing to come out of this match is, what is Dom Mysterio's role in the WWE now? He is an Intercontinental Champion, but throughout the match, he was getting cheered like crazy. It seemed like he was a babyface in this match. So obviously, Las Vegas could have just been a hostile crowd, or a reverse crowd, as Michael Cole likes to call it sometimes. But yeah, Dom getting cheered was really interesting to see. Maybe this is the start of a babyface turn for Dom. That would be really fun. I think it's about time that the heel stuff is kind of slowing down a little bit more. Let's change things up, have him be a babyface. And yeah, I'm really to see what this Intercontinental Champion has in store for him.
Yeah, I think it's an amazing call here to have Dom win. I predicted it to happen. I wanted it to happen, and it did. I think you could just go so many directions from here. You could make it just as simple as a transitional champion, just someone to get the big pop at Mania, just have some cool heel work from now until Backlash, and then just lose about that Backlash, or just give him an actual run, let him do his thing. Him and Liv are really over right now. Make Liv the Intercontinental Champion, move forward with that. But there's a lot of things you could do here. I'm very happy with Dominic getting the win here. I do think he deserves it, and I hope that, like you said, he does get that babyface run eventually. Maybe not right now, because you have things that you have to kind of get through before you get there with Finn Balor and the rest of the Judgment Day and whatnot. But yeah, definitely excited to see the future of Dominic Mysterio.
And then next up, we had the Randy Orton Open Challenge. If you're not caught up, originally it's supposed to be Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens has unfortunately suffered an injury, so he was taken out of this match, and we got announced that it was going to be an Open Challenge on the night. And Randy Orton comes out, and his opponent is none other than Joe Hendry, TNA's very own, comes in and has a pretty quick match, but a huge moment nonetheless. Randy Orton gets a quick victory over Joe Hendry.
Yeah, everyone was expecting Miro, Aleister Black, just all these other people. I haven't seen a single tweet or mention of Joe Hendry, so I do really like that it was Joe Hendry. Obviously, there could have been better options. There could have been other things, but I do like that TNA got a big spot here because they did this big partnership, and they haven't really done anything with them on the main roster, which, they've done a lot on NXT, but it's nice to get that big mention on the main roster, especially not on the main roster, but at WrestleMania, the biggest wrestling event in the world. So, yeah, just a huge moment for TNA, huge moment for Joe Hendry. Randy Orton played into it really nice as well. Just a quick 3-minute match. He did the Joe Hendry turn at the end as well, gave him 2 RKOs, in fact. I think a punt would have been really cool, but maybe that was kind of too much to do to the TNA World Champion as well.
Yeah, but yeah, Joe Hendry getting his moment is very cool, whether you like it or not. Obviously, there's some people that are going to want something more interesting or maybe more permanent in the company, but to each his own. Joe Hendry showing up is still a huge moment for him. But following that, we had Logan Paul defeat AJ Styles in probably what was one of the worst matches on the night. Maybe not on the entire show itself, but at least on night 2, was one of the lower end matches.
Yeah, definitely my least favorite match here. Going into it, every Logan Paul match kind of is a pretty quick-paced match, and that's kind of what keeps it interesting, and that's why all his matches have been at least decent, And this one really didn't follow that direction, really didn't keep up with that pace. I don't really know what it was, but him and AJ just didn't seem to really mesh too well in the ring together. Not blaming Logan, nor am I blaming AJ, of course, but just something was just a little bit off here. I don't know what it was, but it just didn't really connect for me in this match. There was definitely some cool spots. I love Logan's springboard that he does, where it's like a really far springboard, looks really nice. He does his pulverizer, pretty cool move. AJ got his Styles Clash in there as well. But yeah, not too much to write home about here. 17 minutes, probably 7 minutes too long. And yeah.
Yeah, this is kind of like a big moment, I think, for Logan Paul, where when you start having real conversations, like, if you want to be a real-time wrestler, you need to start putting in maybe a little bit more work. I don't know, obviously, how much he's training. I'm sure he is training a lot. I'm not saying that. But maybe more TV time can really help him. Maybe working with the guys on TV can help a lot. But yeah, this match, unfortunately, a match where I wanted AJ to win this match, and hopefully this is like a, start for something big for him again. Unfortunately, it didn't happen, and AJ Styles losing isn't very great, especially to a guy like Logan Paul. But yeah, this match is kind of whatever. We did see Karrion Kross get involved, and he kind of tried to help AJ, but then AJ slapped him, and then AJ was going to lose. So maybe we're getting an AJ Karrion Kross storyline that's going to be brewing over Raw for the next few weeks. But yeah, this match, definitely a very unfortunate just match that wasn't as good as what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, the crowd this entire night was loud the entire night. They were really good the entire night. However, for this match, it kind of killed the crowd. But maybe that was for a good thing, because, the following two matches are going to make the crowd, get back on their feet a little bit more. But yeah, I didn't enjoy this. Really wanted AJ to get the win, as you mentioned. I guess a positive thing that, hopefully will come from here is that Logan Paul will take this win and use this kind of momentum from WrestleMania to do more TV time, do more pay-per-view matches, and, maybe something cool can come from a big win of Logan Paul to get this. But yeah.
And next up, in the co-main event, we had the Women's Tag Team Championship match where Liv Morgan and Raquel put it against Lyra and her mystery tag team partner. Now, if you're not updated on this, originally it was supposed to be Lyra and Bayley, but Bayley was mysteriously attacked on night one, so Lyra had 24 hours to find a new tag team partner, and after she comes out, it is none other than fellow country mate Becky Lynch. She makes her big return here at WrestleMania, and it was a huge pop for her and a very cool moment for Lyra. You can tell that Becky means a lot to her. Obviously, a fellow Irish woman who destroyed the WWE in a obviously good way, to kind of lead her was a cool moment for them too. And surprisingly as well, they do come out on top and are your new Women's Tag Team Champions. Lyra 2 belts is official. And yeah, pretty interesting. The match itself might not have been the best, but a cool moment nonetheless for Becky Lynch to return and get the tag team belts.
Yeah, I think this was huge for Lyra to get this moment, big Becky Lynch spot with her, be in the ring with Liv Morgan, Becky Lynch, Raquel. It is a huge moment for her going in as the IC champion. Unfortunately, didn't defend the IC champion at WrestleMania like most people wanted, but this was a good spot. This is a good makeup for that, I guess, to put her with Becky, give her that big spotlight, get a lot more people behind her, and yeah, I like that. They are the new tag team champions. I do sort of expect, as I mentioned earlier, for Liv Morgan to maybe take that IC title from her, because I do think Liv Morgan does deserve some kind of title here and there. She obviously had a great women's world champion run, but I do think she deserves another title, pretty much not at all times, but kind of like a Rhea, where she here and there gets her title back. Yeah, I'll enjoy this run that Becky Lynch is gonna go on, assuming she'll be on Raw with Lyra, of course. But now that technically they're tag team champions, they could defend the belts anywhere. So maybe we'll see them. Matter of fact, we're gonna see them on NXT this Tuesday. In fact, I forgot about that. So that'll be very interesting to see Becky Lynch and Lyra back on NXT.
Yeah, and one thing I want to kind of add to this as well is I hope Liv Morgan, we can kind of see a little bit, maybe a different character arc for her as well, because there's a few people on the roster where when she goes against them, she acts very cowardish and is like almost scared of them, which I guess she's a heel, maybe she should be, but for me, I wish Liv Morgan was a bit more. Obviously, she's a smaller woman, but I wish she kind of had a bit more fight to her. They gave her a little bit more respect, because when she goes like a Rhea Ripley or Becky Lynch, she kind of like shits herself and kind of starts trying to run away a lot of the time. So hopefully that changes a little bit, but it's not a huge thing to harp on. But yeah, this match was really fun to see Becky Lynch return, obviously. And yeah, nice to see Lyra 2 belts. And then in the main event of WrestleMania 41, Night 2, Cody Rhodes took on John Cena, and John Cena comes out on top and is the 17-time world champion officially, and what was a simple but unfortunate ending and high expectations that did not come true.
Yeah, I think with all the kind of drama, cinema, whatever you want to call it, that happened at the main event of night 1, I think that same anticipation and whatnot was projected onto the night 2 main event, and rightfully so. This is the biggest heel turn of all time. This is your biggest star in the game right now in Cody Rhodes, and this is your main event of WrestleMania, of course, your night 2 main event. So, a lot of expectations on this match going into it. John Cena had a lot of people really liked it. I didn't care for it, but he had a black and white entrance where it's kind of
simple heel stuff.
Yeah, just simple heel stuff. And he just kind of walks out to his regular theme song, all black gear and whatnot. Cody Rhodes had this big grand entrance for him as he came out. That was really cool with the motorcycle, the dirt bikes and all that. He had a mask that was like kind of
Iron Man-ish.
Yeah, Iron Man-ish mask where it flaps up at the push of a button or whatever it is. But it's really cool there. But John Cena pulled out a couple moves that you don't necessarily see him do all the time. We've seen him do a tornado DDT. We've seen him go for the Famouser off the top rope like he used to do back in the day, but it got reversed into a powerbomb, unfortunately. But yeah, John Cena kind of went into his bag a little bit and did some things that weren't thought of that he would do in this match. Same for Cody Rhodes. He looked pretty good, but overall, as far as the in-ring work for this one, didn't impress me too much, but didn't really expect it to impress me too much going into it.
Yeah, I think the entire thing is that John Cena wasn't going to wrestle the entire not the entire story, but the main thing that Cody was saying is that, yeah, you might have a lot of things over me, but the one thing you cannot is that people don't say I can't wrestle. They say that about you. And Cena didn't wrestle. He cheated a lot through this match. We've seen low blows, we've seen eye pokes. We've just seen a lot of chin holds, like maybe have went for a bit too long. And just kind of simple heel stuff. And I think Cena kind of played it maybe too basic and a little bit too simple. However, I do think it was pretty good at times. There's a few points where I'm like, okay, this is pretty good. Sometimes I'm like, this is kind of need to work on. But yeah, John Cena getting the big win here is surprising. We did see Travis Scott. However, we did not see The Rock. Obviously, after Elimination Chamber, we kind of figured that maybe The Rock will be at WrestleMania 41. Maybe he will show up. And I think kind of leading into it, I think since we kind of knew this was in the Night 2 main event, we kind of had the hope that he would, whether he would turn on Cena or where him and Cena just walk out together and do something with The Rock. But The Rock's gonna rock, and yeah, he ain't showing up when he's doing movies, which I guess is more important to him. But teach their own.
Yeah, if it's not bloodline related, The Rock isn't showing up, unfortunately. And that's the unfortunate part about anything involving The Rock. I mentioned to you somewhere around Royal Rumble time that The Rock, did maybe one more thing and then went away for good. That was his final time showing up on TV. It wouldn't make me too mad because I hate that, a lot of times he'll start things, not finish them. He's so busy, yada, yada. I don't care about his schedule, unfortunately. I care about what I'm watching on my TV, when I'm watching wrestling. And sometimes, I'm not going to say he ruins it, but he kind of puts that expectation, that anticipation on it, all of this. And it doesn't, unfortunately, live up to it. And this is the John Cena heel run. This is one of the biggest main events of all time that could have came from this. And I don't think it's going to live up to what it should have lived up to.
Yeah, the Rock situation when he shows up is very interesting because obviously when he's around, you have to put him on the card in some way. So they're obviously going to make the time for him. But in the meantime, you're obviously messing up a whole lot of other talent who are going to be there weekly, who are going to get kind of held back in a way. So with this entire Rock being with Cena kind of makes no sense. Why did you not at least show up for WrestleMania? I feel like if you care more about the movies more than wrestling right now, that's fair. But if you're going to make time for wrestling, WrestleMania is the one night where I feel like you almost have to show up. If you really say that you care about showing up, you love this business so much. It kind of doesn't seem like that with The Rock. But yeah, I hope in the future The Rock either shows up less or once we do get him around, he's going to be there for that time period. We're going to finish what he has started and kind of check all the boxes and make sure we do everything we can while you're here.
Yeah, but yeah, the match overall, I'm not going to say it was a bad match by any means. It was decent. I really did enjoy the kind of, once Travis Scott came in, I really did enjoy from there to the ending. The only thing that messed it up was the fact that The Rock wasn't there, but I did enjoy it. It was a little bit abrupt, maybe similar to the Jey Uso match, and I think this match is kind of going to fall in that Jey Uso category, unfortunately, where the match could have been as good as it wanted to be, but with the ending like that, with the way the story was told and kind of ended, just not something to be happy about, really. So it will unfortunately fall into that Jey Uso category for me, where the match was good, story not there, and I just didn't really care.
Yeah, but that will do it for night 2. What was your favorite match on the night, though?
Definitely going to be Io Sky, Bianca, and Rhea. They absolutely crushed it. This is probably my women's match of the year, overpassing the Toni Storm and Mariah May banger that they had.
Yeah, but with obviously WrestleMania wrapping up now, what was your favorite match on the weekend?
Probably gonna be the exact same answer. Honestly, it was a really cool moment. We'll probably have a video wrapping up both nights after we release this video. We'll kind of talk about both nights, maybe more in detail, what we think is gonna go forward. We'll also probably have our WrestleMania 42 early predictions come up at some point later this week. But yes, expect a lot more content coming out this week. We appreciate you guys for watching. Let us know what you thought of WrestleMania 41 in the comments, and we'll see you guys in the next one.